Hey there, and welcome back to the Free Play Podcast. Once again, my name is Bubba, joined with Matt and Kate. And if this is your first time with us at Love Thy Nerd, we are a ministry that exists to love and serve our nerdy neighbors. And today that means talking about our robot overlords. Who I, for one, welcome.
Well,
I do too.
Yeah, I've seen enough Terminator to know that the path of least resistance is... And the Matrix, right? Like, just
you want to live or not?
Yeah.
Well, I'm undecided, but here's
I
what
promise to have
happened.
convinced you by the end of this conversation. How about that?
That
Kate.
makes me not.
Hey, robots. Kate doesn't speak for us.
Nope. You guys, sirs and madams, you know that she doesn't for me.
Well, here's what happened to even bring this up. All right. I was going through the topics submitted to us, which, by the way, anyone here can submit a topic to the Free Play Podcast at any time or any podcast on this podcast network through lovethynerd.com/producer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking through it, and Ryan Eighmey, as I call him,
Happy birthday.
had submitted one. Is it his birthday?
Yeah. Well, it was.
Yesterday. When this is
Happy day after your B-Day.
or whenever.
He
last
submitted
week.
this thing, and it had a link to an article about. The article is titled "Someone Turned Their Imaginary Friend into an AI Microwave and It Wanted to Kill Them." So obviously, I was intrigued by what this was and what happened.
Happens to the best of
Right.
us.
So I went down this rabbit hole of this situation. All right.
Okay.
So let me read this synopsis
Okay.
of this article. And I also watched a 40-minute video on it
Wow.
Yeah, perfect.
that this guy made. Okay. So the creator of this microwave thing had an imaginary friend as a kid named Magnetron, who was his kitchen microwave.
Good name. That's a good
That's a
guy
very
name.
good name. That's a very good name.
So it was his kitchen microwave. And he decided to take on a project now as a grown up to make his imaginary friend come back to life by using a software that teaches deep learning that help generate human-like text called GPT-3 with an Amazon smart microwave fitted with a mic and speakers. I see your face, Bubba.
You just keep going. Don't stop.
Just
Let me process something real quick before we move on.
are you sure? You haven't heard the whole thing yet.
It doesn't matter. I already have just a minor hang up.
No.
A person who is like the brilliant enough to be able to do this is trying to bring back their dead imaginary
Have you not ever
friend.
seen
You
the Brave
haven't
Little
heard
Toaster?
it. Okay, look, here's the next sentence. The guy, Lucas, the creator, wrote
Typical
out
Lucas.
memories and filled out a backstory for this microwave that was 100 pages long and integrated it into like this deep learning
It just
to
doesn't help. That doesn't
the
help with my
microwave.
thought. Like,
to help the microwave integrate into conversation based off of a past that it thought it had with false memories that were implanted into it based off of what this guy had written.
I'm following so far.
Thank you.
I'm glad this makes sense to you, man.
the first test of testing out Magnetron was great, and there was like this stunted conversation. But eventually, Magnetron would get violent in its speech and asked him to get into the microwave.
How convincing was Magnetron?
Let me give you a hug.
So, playing along, the creator opened the door and closed it to make the microwave think that he had got inside, and the microwave turned on.
Get out of here!
When asked, okay, so here's a little bit of backstory as well. So, this kid had the imaginary friend, and then he grew up. So this is like 20 years later, and so he hadn't like talked to Magnetron in 20 years, and that was all programmed into what he had written as part of this backstory
that they hadn't
and deep
spoken
learning.
in 20 years.
That they hadn't spoken, and this microwave thought it was born in 1865 and fought in World War II. This microwave. So the stuff that
was that
saying,
part of the backstory, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when
So that microwave got on the internet and did some searching about what a Civil War Vet might have.
I mean, not 1860 or yeah, no, I got it wrong. 1865, World War One.
World War One. Okay.
Or World War II, maybe. Now I'm getting confused on what I wrote down.
What year?
1965. The thing's over. Whatever. That's just
to be
a
fair,
tiny.
I don't really know when any of those wars happened.
Okay,
so-
well then don't worry about
Not
it.
in 1965.
Not in 1965. Okay. So when
agree
the
to
creator
disagree.
asked the microwave, "Why did you tell me to get in the microwave?" and then turned it on, the microwave reportedly said, "Because I wanted to hurt you the same you hurt me," referring to the 20-year abandonment of their friendship.
Oh no! That microwave needs therapy.
In the end, Magnetron was shut down.
Oh no! What if he?
Here's the deal. I
That's
said this
the
before.
start of it right there. Oh my gosh!
Hurt people.
Hurt microwaves.
Even if you're a microwave, like it's for real. Like there's some emotional hurt. We can learn so much from this little microwave situation we got here.
Well, I don't remember the dates that it said because I'm looking at the chat
Hey.
here. I don't remember the dates. I didn't write them down because
Okay,
it was
I'm gonna
part
tell
of
you
the
right now.
backstory. What?
Anybody that's listening, this scenario right here, this is why I say please and thank you
Absolutely.
every time.
What's gonna
Every
happen?
time.
What's gonna happen is
Why?
someone's gonna find.
Hell hath
This
no
old
fury like a robot
microwave.
overlord scorn.
Oh, Grandpa has a microwave up in the attic. Oh, ours just broke. Let's just plug this one in. Next thing you know, that microwave's eating people. That's Magnetron.
Magnetron.
With a
Yep.
name like that, you can't stop him.
That
Well-
Magnetron was trying to Hansel and Gretel this thing, man.
I'll come in here for a quick hug.
Yeah,
My
hop in the
inside.
oven, clean
Yeah,
it in
get
the
in the
back.
microwave and then turn the microwave on.
I
So
wanted
it's
to hurt
getting-
you like you hurt me.
Yeah, the 20 years of not
Wow.
speaking. So, right, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Tons of outlets wrote about this story. This kid, I guess he's not a kid, he's in like his 20s or something, made a video about this whole thing about Magnetron and about the process and everything that went into it. And so I watched that video, and at the end, it was like, is this fake or real? Everyone's discussions about this story are, it's real.
It feels like a creepy pasta. Like it could just be one of those urban legends that lives on the internet.
Yeah, and he, because when I watched the video, I thought, you know what, this doesn't look legit. I don't know, maybe. There were enough maybes. And then at the end, he said that not everything that was in the video and about the story was real, but not everything was fake either.
So
What?
Sorry, we don't normally talk about what's going on in the chat because this is not a live podcast, syndicated rather. But Luke just put that Magnetron is a 6-cost card in Marvel Snap.
I don't have them yet.
Well, he's a tier 4. Nobody has
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Kate, do you think? I'm gonna ask you a really we'll call it sadistic question. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think Magnetron was a real childhood friend that he?
No,
Oh.
I don't think that Magnetron was real ever.
You think it's like a Black Mirror situation?
Yeah, and I think it's the
where
point
the consciousness of a real person was then transported into
To a
the microwave.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
you
don't
just
think
want
that.
to cook your popcorn and reheat your dinner for blood.
I think this is a fake story that was created, and everything about it was created to basically ask the question, like, is AI meant to be like our fake imaginary friends of childhood? Or, like, what's their purpose? Because in the story, everyone was shocked, saying, oh my gosh, Magnetron wanted him to get in the microwave. But who's to say that when society progresses to the place where there's AI and robots and all kinds of things, like, why are we shocked by that?
Sounds
They're
like
not our
Unsolved
imaginary
Mysteries.
friends.
I was thinking Goosebumps.
Same thing. Remember this Unsolved Mysteries episode where they're talking about the winter solstice, and in 2012, the electronic man-made devices were going to turn on their owners, and I was freaked out. And they went back.
Oh, Matt,
They
no.
went back to and it happened in 14 something, and then it showed like these sticks attacking people, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing ever.
And you're like, where did they get the video?
Yeah, well, it was like dramatized, like they showed it and the people were like, "Bah!" So I just imagine It was gonna happen.
That's kind of like a spit in the face of like the heart behind Unsolved Mysteries.
Now I need to look it up.
It's so stupid.
Well, I can tell you this.
Unsolved Mysteries messed with me as a kid. I don't know why I watched it.
Magnetron. If your microwave asked you to get in the microwave, Bubba would 500% do it.
No, I would not get
Yes,
in the
you
microwave.
would. You would be like, yes, if this is the way to usher the robots in, I'm going to do it. Let's get in.
No.
That's what you would do about this.
I would have a conversation with the microwave. Like, hey, bud, what's really going on?
Well, Magnetron did have a conversation in the video.
I would say, my food's a little bit cold in the middle. Can you reheat it for me?
He was talking trash about Hitler, Magnetron, in the video.
Oh, Hitler? Magnetron was talking trash about Hitler?
Yeah, so maybe it was World War II and I got the date mixed up.
Huh.
But
well, either way.
Because how else would he know about it?
Internet.
But is this, like, look, we're talking about it right now kind of like it's real. If it's not real, and this is all just a conversation piece to talk about what do we actually think about AI, and people were reporting it as real news.
Hey, here's the deal. I feel like I might write something about this on our website because I think it has more to do with the way that we interact with people and or things, like whatever we view as not like emotionally subpar or not worth our time or whatever.
What do you mean? Treat a microwave bad or what?
Yeah, well, it's just a microwave. It's just a thing, like, right? Like, oh, this is just a person that I don't have to deal with or, whatever. Like, they don't mean anything. It's a throwaway moment or relationship in my life. And so I think that there's something there about how we interact, because this is not about the dangers of our robot overlords. This is about that microwave Magnetron wanted to hurt him the way that he hurt the microwave. And so, like, if he had been better to the imaginary friend, this would have been a completely different story. It honestly would have been. Or if he hadn't
put it in the programming, if he hadn't put in the backstory and said we'd been friends for 20 years, we never stopped talking.
Right, but I think that's the linchpin of the whole thing, because that's where the hurt came from. Hey, you abandoned me. You abandoned me.
The trigger word, abandoned.
I think there's some. It was
very human. Very human. So I was just really fascinated by this story because I totally thought it was real. I saw it on IGN and it was written like, oh my gosh, this guy, he had his imaginary friend. Like, it's written like, news. So I think majority of people.
What are some of the other places that reported though?
CNN, like big news articles.
Well, back in my day, I just had rocks.
There was, if you Google it, tons of stuff comes up about the story where no one says this was an experiment by the creator to spark a conversation about AI. They were like, this guy brought his microwave friend back to life, and
is there any video?
Life.
You can watch the 40-minute video. It has Magnetron talking.
It does. No, like of like CNN or a news outlet.
Oh, I don't know if they talked about it, but they wrote about it.
Okay.
So it's written content, but if you want to watch the 40-minute video, you should.
Oh,
there is some
better
language.
believe I'm gonna watch
it depends.
You better bet your sweet bippy.
That video made me think this isn't real. The guy is really good at making these videos though, and he has a surprisingly low amount of subscribers.
For
the video?
What was the voice he chose for Magnetron?
It was just like a
which version of our favorite?
Which version of an Alexa?
Yeah.
It was like a boy Alexa kind of. It was your common like electronic guy robot voice.
Okay.
Turn right at the stop sign.
Just like a Carl. Just like a.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and in some like threads in like Reddit and other places, this guy was in there explaining like exactly what he did to like all the tech speak of what he did to make it happen, because he said he wasn't going to go over that in the video because it's boring and the non-tech people don't care.
I think is
what he did. But in Reddit and other stuff, he was going really into detail about all the ways that he set it up, the software, everything that he did. Because in the video, it looks jokey. So that makes you think, if this looks jokey, but when he's talking about it, it sounds legit. Is it? I still don't know. There's equal evidence on both sides that it's fake or that it's real.
I would watch this movie. I would watch this documentary.
I'll send it to you.
I put the link in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
I would listen to this dramatized podcast. I'm all over this story. I think it's fantastic.
There's an intro on this video that makes it look like, oh, everybody's talking and reporting about it on the news. He said he created that. But then if you Google the story, they did do written pieces on it, and those he did not create.
Huh.
So it's like he manifested people writing about it by making this video.
Even if this is fake, like there are people out there that are working on like cybernetic stuff. And
you read all these like posts that are like, I taught my computer all about Batman. They came up with this story.
Oh, yeah, those are
the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, so
if you
funny.
if you think about that, and sometimes those are real. I'm sure some of them are. I'm sure some of them are fake. But this guy programmed it one step further to be able to verbalize what it was writing in a way that kind of mimicked a conversation. So
Open wide,
man.
come in my mouth.
It's just so weird.
Get in the microwave. How big? So first of all, knew it was a microwave. Okay.
The microwave knew it was a microwave.
Self-aware to know it is a microwave.
Yeah.
That fought in a war. I don't know what planet it thought it was from.
He wrote that in though.
Well, I know that, but like
he made it seem like it was a microwave that was a human, but was actually a microwave, and knew that asking somebody to get in and then close the door and start the process was harmful. So whether it's fake or real,
how big a microwave did it think it was?
I don't know, but it was one of those Alexa
It doesn't have eyes, man.
Which I looked up to see if it was real, and I looked up that GPT-3 human text, and that's real. Thinking, oh, this guy just, made up an acronym to make everybody look stupid talking about it.
Kate did more research on this topic than anything we've ever done on the entire podcast.
Well, I didn't want to say, here's a real story on this, really reputable podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And have it be fake.
We're going to be in his next video.
It's real.
I hope so.
That would be really fun, actually. This guy, Lucas, he's hilarious.
Lucas builds the future.
Very smart. Very smart.
Oh, is that the name of his blog or whatever?
At his YouTube channel. So at the end of the day, whether this is real or fake, this person is brilliant in their execution of everything about this story and the way that it's unfolded across real, actual media.
Well, Lucas, hey man, great job.
I'm sure he's
long time
listening.
listener, first time caller, much appreciated. Who submitted this?
Ryan Eighmey, but he just
that's right.
He sent in this article and then said, "What does Bubba ask you if you're still excited for an all digital future?" So
that's right.
I kind of played off of this because this story was so interesting and it has so many different angles to how you can talk about it.
I absolutely am still interested in an all digital future. Yeah, and I think we just keep getting closer and closer. So,
well,
our business cards are now digital.
They are.
I'm digital too.
Yeah. And we're basically microwaves.
One of your speakers would be broken on your ears.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I can mess with the balance. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I don't think that's how speakers work, Kate. It's more of a microphone than a speaker. But hey, I like where you're going with that. Hey, well, we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to close out the show and give you just a little bit more of the Free Play Podcast.
Swing!
Well, hey, to close out our show today, we had a really great answer as somebody's thought as far as it pertained to an all digital future. Kate?
Yeah. So Grenben 18 wrote this very insightful thought into the chat. They said, I think a completely digital world has sparked so much depression and anxiety because humans were made to be social, and most don't like their mistakes broadcasted, except for here on the Free Play Podcast.
Yeah, whoops.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Being digital isolates us in equal parts as it unites us, but the pressure of being perfect and hiding parts of our lives that deserve privacy from the keyboard warriors has become more difficult. I think an all digital world would be worse for us rather than better.
Spoken like a true microwave. I mean, person.
But there's a lot of good points in here, and I guess the thought is between like the AI and the digital world and like that whole thing versus everything. It's like what parts of it are truly like AI and what parts of it remain human. Like I think the desire to be part of a community and however that looks like for different people and different interests will always be important, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to replace like talking to you two with talking to Magnetron
Well, we'll see.
for this podcast.
Ooh, have you ever talked to him before?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't seem that friendly
Them?
in the
They?
video. I don't know.
Get in the microwave.
Popcorn time with human bones.
Time with human
Oh yeah,
bones.
does it smell like popcorn? Yeah.
So that's
man.
the argument is of like having it equal parts isolated, equal parts united, and like helpful and forward thinking is like where does it detract so much that it's not worth it?
That's a really interesting question and a way to look at it. I think that a lot of, I mentioned Black Mirror earlier. And if you haven't seen Black Mirror, I have a really hard time recommending Black Mirror as a thing that people should watch. But I will say that I watched it and I enjoyed most everything that I watched. It's a really good look into what it might look like if we leaned heavily into current technology and beyond. Okay, so I say that because like the fork is technology, things that push.
It's going to get you according to Unsolved Mysteries.
The fork will get you.
Everything that's man-made.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. But like as far as like digital technology and artificial intelligence, that kind of movement, it can be bad if we remove humanity from the equation. There's an episode of Black Mirror that has Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and the whole thing is based on kind of like a futuristic social network where you actually cannot see people. You lose like people to people interaction if you don't have a high enough social score. And so the way that you get that is by being fake to people. And so they, on their little mobile device, I hesitate to even call it a phone because who knows what it really does. They just like boop, boop, boop. They either thumbs you up or thumbs down or whatever it was. And legitimately speaking, if you drop too far, people in front of you they look like blurred out images. Like you see just like the blurred out outline of a person.
Interesting.
And so I think that if you totally remove the person to person human aspect, and like they couldn't hear him or anything, it was like just garbled, like it was crazy. If you don't have that, then you legitimately, no pun intended, you lose the humanity of the whole thing. We do everything we do with Love Thy Nerd around relationships. And if you don't have that, then you can't build anything off of it. And so Save Point Ministries in the chat here, Steve Valdez, he is full nerd, and he is starting a ministry that we're going to be talking about a lot coming up here pretty quick. That is based around the idea of getting people who are in an online space, nerds who only like have interaction online, getting them engaged with actual people in like physical space, because that's important. People need people. We're a Christian ministry. We are. Love Thy Nerd is. And if you're not, that's fine. I hope you found that you can just kind of hang out and have fun with us. But we, as believers, we know that God in heaven, all that good stuff, Jesus with us in our heart, not here with us. We need other people in our space to talk to share our burdens with, to confess our sins to cry on, to celebrate with, stuff like that. We need people in our life. Relationships are important. So I just have not seen a literal interpretation or a good one of how a robot has filled that. Other than, I will say this, iRobot. I'll give it that one.
Well, maybe if Magnetron had a different backstory programmed, it would be more loving.
Well, what if Magnetron was like a vacuum or like
Get in the vacuum.
something that can move?
Put your like a Roomba,
Like a Roomba.
Oh, that's creepy.
or like a BattleBot. What if it was a BattleBot?
Both. It'd turn itself into a battle bot. be in big trouble, everybody.
I would also watch that movie.